Friday night at Independence. We're scientists in the house, Chris and Keith. Welcome to Indy.
Thank you. It's about time.
I want to talk to you about the new music and the new album, which we still don't know what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
We really don't. We really genuinely have not decided. We've got some great candidates, none of which will probably end up being the name. But
Is it a fun part or is it a stressful part? Because you are stuck with it in perpetuity.
it's fun. I think it's fun.
It is fun, but we seem to not actually engage the fun part of it. Like we enjoy doing it very casually. Like we don't treat it the way you would normally treat a fun thing, which is to engage and like really hash it out. It's fun to fantasize about what it would be like if we called, the album
Skid Stripes. The Indiana Jones story.
How many votes does Skid Stripes have? Is it's like in the two-person democracy, I
It's
suppose.
unanimous right now. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, you can vote if you want. You're at the table. What do you say?
Well, it's funny.
That's the thing. A lot of our titles tend to be funny and...
Barbara wasn't exactly hilarious.
Barbara, I think, struck the right balance between, well, it's just kind of odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
And that's what we want.
Well, there was
because
probably an in-joke behind that we don't know. Really?
Yeah.
That was what was funny to us about it, was that there was no... there was no...
Well, I was really trying to get someone else to call their band Barbara. I was trying to get an all-girl band to call themselves Barbara. And they were really excited about it for about a week, and then they gave up, and I was like, well, screw you, I'm calling my album Barbara then.
Well,
Damn it if that didn't work.
well, the fifth as-yet titled album, it's in the can, is it? Is it in the bag? Is it a sort of a mixing, mastering stage?
We've
or
canned it, put it in a bag, put that in a suitcase, put that on a boat.
all the
Yeah,
cliches
ship
and
it off to
analogies.
We put the whole thing on ice for now, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been done for months. We've been enjoying it in our homes. But we've had to work out a label situation. We've had to figure out who's putting it out.
Is that Neon Gold Records? Is that, or is that for that was just for the double A side?
They actually didn't put out the double A side. They're just kind of pals in New
Okay.
York.
Yeah.
Okay.
We played one of their cool
They
parties.
use it to help themselves. They didn't put it out.
It's nice to help out friends.
Absolutely, yeah. We gave them a leg up.
Okay, well, right now, while people wait for the album to be released and titled and all those things, people can immediately get a hold of the double A side. Or are you calling it an EP? Is it a double A side or EP? Something about you, let me win.
7-inch.
It's a 7-inch
Double A side, yeah.
Yeah,
And we have an EP coming out.
Okay. Also called something about you.
EP in October. No, it won't have those songs. Yeah.
Okay.
New songs.
But it will share songs with the album that's coming out. This is getting confusing.
Okay, well, that's okay. I can keep track. So the double A side was just stuff that you liked that you wanted to get out until you finished or you got their album ready to go. But these tracks, the double A side, will not be on the album. Is that right?
All of these things were done after the album was completed. We finished the album and then had to kind of sort out our management and label situation. And while that was happening, we wrote some songs and recorded them and didn't want to wait until after the album was ready to put those out. So we cast them out into the world.
So this has been a really hyper creative time for you guys.
We only seem lazy.
I have to say I am impressed. Okay, so EP October, did you say?
Fingers crossed.
Okay. And title? Can I put you under more pressure?
We haven't finalized that either, unfortunately.
That title?
Oh, I don't know. No, not necessarily. The only reason
We
I was
love
thinking
an
we
Independence
might-
Festival scoop.
Yeah. Oh God, that's true. Well, I guess we can say what we think we're gonna call it.
Ireland loves you, and they'd love to be the first to know.
We're thinking we're calling it business casual. We've been calling it business casual for a really long
I
time.
love it. I love it. I love it when you get an invitation that says business casual or lounge casual.
It means
Lounge
it's
casual.
gonna be a great party,
Yeah.
and that's what the title of this EP
And
also
it's
indicates.
So rock and roll.
In which case, and now all of this is going to be nonsense to you guys, but calling the EP business casual as an invite, which I've never, I like the acronym title for the album that we were talking about.
My
Following
only
that.
worry about that is that it kind of implies something more kind of crazy and raucous.
Well,
Although
listening.
maybe that involved. Okay, We're wasting
No,
it.
that's
We're
okay.
wasting
No, it
recording
just
time.
the rock has led me on very nicely to the sort of sound of the new album because listening to the
Not very raucous.
oh, that's what I was gonna say. The double A side, you know, listening to Something About You and Let Me Win. You know, there's a lot of pop melody. There's like it's pure melody. It's really pretty. And then Let Me Win is even sort of gentler again. So, is that representative of?
Those don't sound. I think it would be misleading to use those as guideposts for the record. For one thing, we recorded those two songs, "Let Me Win" and "Something About You," in 3 days, along with 3 other songs.
You're gonna annoy a lot of people saying things like that.
Well,
we just knocked them out.
I mean,
you know.
we did them in a nice with friends in a nice place. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Prepared for
I
it.
mean, they'll be
go.
jealous of the ability to
Oh,
do
yeah, well, they should.
create
The
and
rec-
record.
well, the recording situation was, you know, fairly swift. Yeah. But the creative process was not. We didn't just show up at the studio and be like, well, let's
Arduous.
record 5 songs, and those beauties popped out. It took almost 7 hours to do those.
Yeah, they took 7 hours the day before recording started. Yeah, but the album was recorded with a guy named Chris Cody. He produced it, and he has a very distinct sort of sound and skill set as a producer. And this is the first time we've worked with him. So the album, I think, really bears his fingerprints, which is something we're super excited about, and that I think really sets it apart from the stuff we've done before, and sets it apart from the 7-inch.
Very exciting. When are you going to come back for the album? You still don't know yet when it's going to be released, so is it likely to come out before Christmas?
Early. No, I think early next year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be first.
But
quarter.
we'll be kept going. We can get the double A side
The
now.
EP's gonna be out. We're
and
gonna,
then the EP,
I think
October.
we'll have a couple of videos out by the time the album comes out. So
Great.
there's gonna be a lot to feed on. It has begun.
What's the Twitter?
Scientist Bros.
Scientist Bros. Okay. Chris and Keith, we are scientists. Really looking forward to hearing the 3 new songs. Thanks for joining us at Indie TV.
Pleasure.